and Robin were married before I married them. They don't have good relationships with their exes. I don't want to have that happen here. I don't want her going around the country telling people that I'm a bad person.
I cannot believe that I have done all this to save you, to save Truly, to save my children. I did not know that it wouldn't harm them. I was trying to protect them, and I got criticism from you and from my boys. The worst criticism, zero respect. You guys wonder why I'm mad? I've gone 18 months being persecuted by my own family.
What if I told you Kody Brown's entire apology tour isn't about remorse? It's a calculated legal strategy recorded in his own words years ago. Stick around, because the receipts don't lie, and by the end of this, you'll see his sudden change of heart for exactly what it is. For over 15 seasons of Sister Wives, we haven't just watched a family, we've witnessed a real-time case study. Every argument, every separation, every breakup was filmed. And that archive of footage is now Kody Brown's biggest nightmare. Because you can't rewrite history when it's been edited for television. Think about the timeline. Christine makes her move to leave in the heart of the pandemic, with Janelle and Mary following not long after. These splits didn't happen overnight. They were slow burns, years of building tension finally snapping. Now, suddenly, Kody is in apology mode. And here's the bizarre part. He seems to think an apology means admitting he stopped loving them, or that he was just angry. But his real motive was exposed the moment Christine first walked away. His deepest fear wasn't losing a wife, it was losing control of the narrative. He was terrified of her running around and telling the world that he was a bad person. He spent so much energy, both before and after she left, pushing this idea. If Christine left a good man like him, she'd never find love again. Well, she found a great man. And Kody's problem has always been the truth. From day one, he had an issue with Christine being honest about her experience. But it goes so much deeper than hurt feelings. This is about money and control. He once sat across from Christine, on camera, and laid out a terrifying threat. He told her that if she ever took him to court for child support, he would come after everything she had. He promised a legal war where the only winners would be the lawyers, and she would lose it all. He made her promise never to come for him or his money. Let's listen to that man in his own words. You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money. I lose any access to Truly and all my money. She needs to do that so she can find another man who will trust her. Nothing scares me but poverty. Hear that? Nothing scares me but poverty. Now, fast forward. He is trying to apologize to Christine amid discussions of child support and right before her tell-all book hits shelves. This isn't a coincidence. This is strategy. And if you think his manipulative playbook stops there, wait until you hear what he said to her face when her new husband was in the room. It will shock you. So let's break down what we just heard. Kody spent those breakup seasons saying a lot of things, but a few statements ring truer than anything else. I believe him completely when he said he didn't want his wives going around speaking badly about him. I believe that nothing scares me but poverty was a raw, unfiltered truth. I believe he was dead serious when he threatened legal warfare over child support, warning that the state of Utah would come after him. In his mind, all the money is his money, and above all, I believe his ego is his most prized possession. He even said it himself once. It's all ego, baby. This is the framework he's operating from. So when he tries to rewrite history now, it's not coming from a place of growth. It's coming from a playbook he wrote himself. 4 years, he set a specific stage. Christine didn't deserve happiness after leaving him. No decent man would want her. He used classic, textbook tactics to break her down and shatter her self-esteem. And the proof is in his own reactions. Remember when he was finally face-to-face with Christine and her new husband, David, with Robin nowhere in sight? His very first line to her was telling, "Well, if I didn't screw this up, then you wouldn't have him." Stay with me, because this part is crucial. Let's just replay that for a second. He's not saying, "I was a bad partner." He's saying, "I made a mistake, and your happy marriage is just a lucky accident because of my error." It's just a repackaged version of his old mantra, she can't get a good man because she left a good man. He's reframing the entire story so that he's not the villain, he's just a guy who fumbled. And the timing of this narrative shift is beyond suspicious. Now he wants us to buy that this is some spiritual journey. That is about God, benevolence, and repentance. But notice what he's actually apologizing for. He's only addressing how he acted after they left. He's talking about his anger post-exit. He is deliberately avoiding any real accountability for why they left in the first place. By focusing only on the aftermath, he doesn't have to answer the tough questions about Robin, about years of neglect, about the core reasons his family fractured. He already showed his hand with Janelle. During their split, he told her his biggest grievance wasn't the end of their marriage. It was that she and her children criticized him. They criticized his rules. In Kody's world, the ultimate betrayal isn't infidelity or neglect. It's criticism. It's truth-telling. It's being humiliated and exposed. His rage has always been fueled by a loss of control over how he's perceived. So now this apology is an attempt to surgically rewrite the story. He's saying sorry for the explosive anger everyone saw on TV, hoping we'll forget the cold, quiet neglect that happened off camera for years. He's apologizing for the symptom to distract from the disease. And the enabler in all of this, often it was Robin. But what happens when his last remaining supporter starts to see the cracks? The dynamic is shifting, and his next move is more desperate than you might think. Think about those intense scenes we all watched. Some of Kody's most abusive moments were captured with everyone sitting there, frozen. And who was often in the room when he was screaming, losing his cool? Robin. And what was she doing? In that infamous moment where he's yelling at Janelle for criticizing him, Robin's advice was to just keep talking even if it's intense. She was coaching Janelle to just sit there and take it. But let's be real. If Robin was on the receiving end of that rage, do you honestly believe she'd stay and just listen? I guarantee she'd walk right out that door. This double standard is key. For years, Kody had enablers who helped him control the narrative and silence the others. But now, he's losing that control. One by one, the women are finding their voices, and he can no longer keep them quiet. Here's what's fascinating. Christine, Janelle, and Mary are largely not talking about him anymore. They've moved on. Christine discusses leaving polygamy. She contrasts her marriage to David with her past life, not to attack Kody, but to highlight what a healthy relationship actually feels like. Janelle is untangling herself from the mind games. Mary is reckoning with the faith system itself. They're making jokes. They're refuting lies when asked. But they aren't festering on him. Kody, on the other hand, is obsessed with what they say. Janelle hit the nail on the head in a tell-all, talking about narcissistic patterns, how they discard people and love bomb. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The three original wives have moved on. Christine is married. Mary is dating. Janelle is seeking her spiritual closure. The financial ties are cut. He's left with just Robin, and the strain is showing. So he pivots. Hard. He launches this public apology tour. And part of this, I believe, is to get Robin off the hot seat. He said recently he doesn't want her on reality TV anymore. This apology spree lets him shift the spotlight onto his supposed growth, and away from the crumbling marriage we all see. He's trying to get back into the other wives' heads, to reassert a shred of the old control. In the past, a dramatic, "I'm sorry" might have worked. But not this time. They're done. And it's because his apologies have nothing to do with the real wounds. If you read Christine's book, which came out after this awakening, by the way, her reasons for leaving are profound. She lost her faith in the principle. She felt devalued, unseen. She watched her kids be mistreated. She was told repeatedly he wasn't attracted to her. She had no safe space for vulnerability because every conversation fed back to Kody. There was no trust, not even with her sister wives. She was tired of a life lived on the surface. Her book isn't a hit piece on his anger. It's a testimony of a woman rediscovering her worth. Kody completely misses this. He thinks apologizing for not loving her is the grand gesture. But she doesn't care. Her healing isn't about his love, it's about her freedom. So why is he really doing this? 2 words: damage control. He's trying to soften the ground before any more truths come out about him, his actions, or his businesses. And most of all, he's trying to legally position himself. He's terrified of Christine and David taking all his money, which in the real world we call child support. In his mind, that money is his entitlement, not his children's. His core fear hasn't changed one bit. He is still, right now, afraid of Christine, Janelle, and Mary telling the truth. He's afraid of his own children telling the truth. He is deathly afraid of being exposed as a bad man because, at his core, he knows what he's done. And folks, some of the things he's done on national television aren't just shady, they're potentially illegal. It's wild to me that he's gotten away with it for so long. He is walking on eggshells, waiting for his past to officially catch up. And that's the real problem he can't solve. He is still, to this day, paranoid about Christine and her greedy husband coming for his money. He's still furious about the criticism. He's still seething that they talk about him. This apology is his last-ditch effort to fix that. He's saying sorry for the loud, ugly aftermath, the screaming, the threats we all saw, hoping it will magically erase the quiet, years-long cause, the neglect, the favoritism, the emotional abandonment. It makes no sense because it's not supposed to make sense as a genuine apology. It only makes sense as a legal and public relations tactic. He has a monumental problem because the show itself is an 18-season-long documentary of his behavior. We might not have every private moment, but we have more than enough. We saw the threats. We heard the words, "Nothing scares me but poverty." We witnessed the fury over criticism. The footage is the star witness that refuses to be rewritten. And that's the real, unsolvable problem staring him in the face. He is still, to this day, paranoid about Christine and what he calls her greedy husband coming for his money. He's still simmering with rage over the criticism. He's still obsessed with controlling what they say about him. This whole apology tour is his final, desperate attempt to neutralize those threats. He's offering a superficial sorry for the loud, explosive aftermath we all witnessed, the screaming matches, the on-camera threats, hoping it will magically erase the quiet, decade-long cause, the systemic neglect, the blatant favoritism, the emotional abandonment that happened off-camera. This logic doesn't hold up to scrutiny because it's not meant to. It only makes sense when you view it through the lens of legal strategy and reputation management. Kody has a monumental, unfixable problem. The show itself is an 18-season-long evidence reel. It's a public archive of his contradictions, his threats, and his priorities. We might not have every private whisper, but we have the damning highlights. We have the child support threat recorded. We have the poverty confession. We have the meltdowns over being criticized. That footage is the star witness for the prosecution, and it cannot be edited or apologized away. He's trying to sell us a new version of the past, but the receipts have already been broadcast into millions of homes. The women aren't buying it because they lived it. The audience isn't buying it because we saw it. This performance isn't for them. It's for the court of public opinion and, potentially, a very real court of law. It's about building a narrative of a changed man before financial realities like child support are finalized and before any other unsavory truths hit the mainstream press. So I'll leave you with this question, and I genuinely want to know what you think in the comments below. Is this a spiritual awakening, or is it Kody Brown's most calculated performance to date? Is this about personal growth, or is it a last stand to protect his bank account and his ego from the tsunami of truth that's finally arrived? If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, if it connected dots you felt were missing, then do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It tells YouTube this is the kind of deep dive content you want to see more of. And if you're not already part of our community here, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We go beyond the headlines to expose the real stories behind the reality TV drama, and I don't want you to miss what we break down next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.